Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up.
Good morning, wake up. Today's going to be a good day. Welcome to Good Morning Crypto on the Piper Academy channel. I am David or Lunar Beaches Crypto. Next to me right here is Mr. BC Port Corp. Mr. BC Port Corp, good morning. How are you, sir?
It's gonna be a great day. It's Friday. I'm not well rested today, but I'm feeling great.
You're not well rested, bro?
No, I didn't go to bed until like 10:30. So
Oh, that's late for you.
yeah,
That's super.
Yeah.
That's like 1 o'clock in the morning for you.
yeah, just a little bit. Someone decided to keep me up last night, so
Yeah, so today we've got some big market movers in my opinion. I think the week has been building up for the move that we're going to be getting today. I think we see a little bit of upside today, but I believe it'll be short-lived, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, most definitely. I think the biggest news is going to be that the lineman strike for the ports is ending. They have come to a resolution. So
yeah, that's good stuff.
we might see more of a pump off that news than anything else, but it might be a tomorrow thing, not tomorrow, but a next week thing, because data is slow sometimes to impact the market.
Yeah.
Unless it's a very big data point, where we saw our big data points for the week, and not all of them was data. Some of them was turmoil that's going on and things like that. So it'll take some time for positive news to really counteract the negative news.
Yeah, I can see it. But even with all that stuff that happened this week, I mean, well, at least Bitcoin. I haven't looked at the stock market, but Bitcoin hasn't been doing too terribly.
No, which has been pretty nice to see, especially with people's sentiment on the fear side of things, because we're back to neutral and we're sitting in that same range. So
awesome.
definitely
go.
Definitely nice to see.
Yeah.
Especially with everything going on.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and get into the first bit of stuff? You want to get the people started with the overview?
I can totally dive on in and get them prepped for success today.
All right, let's get them prepped for success. Let's go.
All right. So our stock heat map pulled up. It's looking still pretty red overall. We do have a few outliers. Things like Nvidia. Nvidia's up 3.37%. Apple, its biggest competitor in the electronic sector, is down almost 0.5%. We do have Berkshire Hathaway down 0.81%. We have Amazon down 1.52%, where you have Walmart and Home Depot and Costco basically sitting neutral. You have P&G sitting down 1%, 1.05%. You have ExxonMobil up 0.87%, and this has been the one sector that's actually been doing all right with a bunch of the news that we've been getting. So I definitely looked at a oil. We got Eli Lilly sitting down 0.62%. For technology, it's sitting basically neutral. We've got Microsoft down 0.14%. We've got Google sitting neutral at 0.0, and Meta is up 1.74. On the crypto side of things, we got Bitcoin up 0.98%, almost a full percent. Nice little recovery to be made. And it's kind of nice to see that 1% move up, bring us out of fear and back into neutral. So we've got Ethereum up 1.19. We've got BNB up 1.34. Solana is a decent mover for the top 10 at up 2.08%. Biggest mover in the top 10 right now is going to be Shiba, which is up 5.98%. So maybe these meme coins are going to go on a little tear while people want to take advantage of big bit the recovery of Bitcoin for maybe today, and we'll see how it goes in the next week. We've got Avalanche up 3.41, Cardano's up 1.62, Toncoin's up 0.56, and Tron is sitting down 0.25%. So those are your top 10 big movers. We've got the stock market, fear and greed. We're sitting in some decent fear or greed on the stock side of things, sitting at 71, which is kind of surprising considering that the stock market has taken such a decent hit. You saw on for most of the week how everything's been sitting kind of red or neutral, and people have been feeling greedy about it. So maybe we see some dumpage. Maybe October is not as pumptober as people think it's going to be. For the crypto side, as I had said earlier, we are now back into neutral. That 1% move up gave us up 4 points, and we are now sitting back at 41. For the liquidations, we do have liquidity sitting right above us. We took some of it out. The rest of it is sitting right above us at 61,710. There's another lighter hot spot sitting at 62,117. So the major liquidity is going to be below us at 59,672. So that's the 24-hour for a 3-day chart. To kind of get a bigger overview, still going to be the same. Most of the liquidity sitting below us, 59,668. So just something to keep in mind. We could take out some liquidity, especially if we don't get good data for today. I can hop over to that real quick. We do have average hourly earnings month over month and year over year. The big mover for today is going to be the non-farm payrolls. It is forecasted to be down just a little bit from 142K previously to 140K. So we have been seeing that the government sector of jobs is the main sector that has been making gains, which does very little to help the economy, as most of those are being paid out of tax dollars and bringing no boost to the economy in any way. They're not providing services that can be sold, stuff like that. It doesn't bring in a whole bunch of revenue. So just something to keep in mind. That's going to be the big mover for today. We also have unemployment rate coming out at the same time. That is coming soon, 7:30 my time, so 8:30 Eastern. So other than that, later in the day, we do have Fed Williams' speech. We'll kind of see what he says, because we've heard the other people for the week, and it's been a bunch of waffling, in my opinion.
Well, of
I
course.
don't. Yeah, why would they ever shoot straight from the hip? I think the only person that has really shot straight from the hip was Fed Chair Powell,
Yep.
when he was very honest in things like, hey, I know everyone gets rah, rah, rah about positive GDP numbers, but when you're seeing drastic differences in countries where some countries are cutting rates, some countries are hiking rates, you have inflation that is being battled with, and you have countries like Japan who are in their rate hike cycle devaluing their dollar. You want to see an import export type thing, and that balance be more in favor of the US, and that's going to be that GDI, where your gross national income is going to play more of a factor. How is our dollar and the money that we are making as a country coming out against other countries? So his unemployment as well was a big point on what he wants to see for the economy. And that's going to be another thing that we will need to keep our eye on. And at least he was honest about it for a change. And it's like, okay, well, I know we got a 50-point cut, but I don't know if we're going to cut at this next meeting, which I had said that if they do a 50-point cut, they probably wouldn't cut at.
After the presidential election, so
Yep.
uh, be a good time to say no cut.
Yes, it really would be, especially when no matter who wins, you're going to see a move off of the market
I hope
one way or
whoever
another.
wins by a landslide, so the other side just so everybody just calms down. I don't know.
Uh, you have big hopes and prayers for this election.
It's gonna be so tight, dude. Like
Oh yeah.
it's gonna be chaos. I just know it's gonna be
Well,
chaos.
like there hasn't been a president in my lifetime that has won by a landslide.
Mm,
No,
Obama 20 two
was
thousand
not
eight.
that was not a landslide victory though. You're talking
Pretty big victory.
six. It was like 6%.
What is 300 electoral votes or something? Over 300 electoral votes. That's pretty big.
I'm, but like on percentage of voting, he won by like it was like 6%.
What about Bush in 2004?
Still, that wasn't still a massive. That wasn't like a landslide victory. He
Hmm.
fought tooth and nail for that sucker. I mean,
Ohio. I remember Ohio being a big swing state at the time.
yep.
Oh, that was
Like,
for Obama. Obama needed Ohio,
yeah.
and he got
Well,
it.
like that's where I say in my lifetime, whereas in like you go people like on the later side of my generation, and like yes, they have seen a landslide victory, and
Hmm.
that would have been oh, what was his name? Uh from
Reagan.
California. Yeah, there we go. Reagan.
Yeah,
Landslide victory.
yeah, that was the
Or
last
like
time
we
we had a
haven't
really big landslide.
we haven't seen anything like that in a long time, and that's what allows people to be so rah rah angry, like, oh no, my side won.
We're really
Like,
not all that different, folks.
no. Yeah,
Uh,
well, and that's
Um,
where it's a few key issues that don't even really matter in the grand scheme of things, where it's like, are you going to be better for the economy, are you going to be better for the people? Like, it's not like the president really gets to do a massive thing. They get like one big thing, and they're like, okay, but we're going to give this to you, but we're going to butcher it along the way and make it seem like you screwed it all up.
they do that too. Both sides do that stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
let's,
Well, we'll give it to you, but we're not going to make it look pretty. That way we can throw it in your face later.
that's politics for you, you know. Let's go ahead and give a shout out to the people. Good morning to the people. Good morning, Tony Soprato, DDT, Moho, Hola, French Tosta, and ALJR, who is now a Piper Academy member.
Yes,
Excellent,
sir.
excellent,
Bunch of
excellent.
bunch of green names in the chat this morning.
Yes, sir. Would you like to? Did I say Alexandra G, or did that just now pop up?
I'm
Alexandra G. All
I'm
right.
not seeing it in mine. I'm seeing L Jones. So
Maybe that's from yesterday. I don't know. I see L Jones though. Yeah.
yep.
I don't know why that's popping up on there. Alexander Jones or Alexander G. Is it? Did you ever find out if this is streaming to your account or not?
I haven't seen anything on my account. It says my last stream was like 50 days ago.
Years
So
ago.
yeah.
So do you want to get
Well,
into some news before you
oh,
gotta head out?
speaking of Alexandra G, she just said good morning with a cup of coffee.
Yeah, with a cup of coffee in the heart. Yeah, it
Yep.
popped up. It popped up over here.
Oh, well, I guess it pops up for you sooner than it does for me.
I guess so. Oh, and thanks for letting us know yesterday was Piper Academy's birthday, guys. Thanks for letting us know. We could have said something, but I guess
Oh man.
it could have been this sort of thing. But yesterday was the 1 year anniversary, the birthday of the Piper Academy channel. It was a fun day. I had a lot of fun in the chats yesterday, so I just want to say, give a congrats to Piper and the team and everybody that's built this thing from the ground up and has, you know, and congratulations on all the success so far. And looking forward to future success and also being part of the team. Myself and BC, I'm sure,
Oh,
are
most definitely.
very appreciative and grateful to be a part of such a special group of people.
Subscribers and
Mm-hmm.
it's been crazy how quickly it's grown.
Yeah, it's
So
been pretty cool, pretty awesome. You got an article for us?
I've got an article, but I kind of wanted to look at Near instead of going over the article.
All right, well, let's look at Near. I'll throw it over to you and you can look at Near.
All right. Sounds good. I've got Near pulled up. It is contrary to usernames comments in our chat all the time. I do not hate Near. It has been one of my biggest gainers this cycle because I got in super early when Coinbase was like, "Hey, you might want to check out this project." And I got some for free, and then I just started stacking on top of that because I liked Near's potential. It is a nice layer one depend project with very massive AI use case because it moves information around. So just something to look into if you like those uh, AI moves. It is it is something that moves with AI, but when you see AI dump, you see things like Near not getting as hard of a dump. Whereas in like Tau dumped 70%, Near dumped I believe it was around 50%. So I had sold off at the top, waited for my rebuys. So I started accumulating down back here under this fib line that was sitting at uh, the about $4 mark. So it raised my average entry a bunch, but I'm using my profits to rebuy, so I'm getting more than I would have than I originally had. So we've now pulled back down. We made a decent bounce off of this 618. That was the $5.82 point. We came down to the 50 line on your fib level, which was sitting at $4.86. Now that we've fallen below it, we do have a little bit of red on the inflows, and you are seeing still the oversold signal
Hey,
and
BC,
reversal signal. Yep,
can you scoot your chart to the left a little bit, like
right
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
so we can see the
you are,
oscillator.
yeah, you are still seeing the outflows being red, and your true 7 is kind of pointing down. So looking like you might see a little more of that downside. You did see some heavy buying pressure here, but it did not manage to come down here to old levels that were very strong and would have been that level where we turned resistance into support. Let me draw that line right there so you can kind of see it. That's right here coming through there. There is a fib line on the sniper, but the Piper sniper kit as well. So would be a nice point to come down back down to and see a bounce off of that. This is a 4-hour chart. So this would be the move that I'm kind of looking for the weekend. I am looking at some possible downside. You are seeing Ethereum kind of pull back, which is depending on your alts, will kind of drag some of the alts down. This is Bitcoin season, and your Bitcoin dominance chart is looking pretty. So, just a nice little point to look at for a bounce, and that's going to be the $4.33 mark. So, kind of my eye on near for today and going into the weekend.
What would you do you want to keep going since you might have to leave in a minute?
Yeah, I can hop over to that article real quick. I didn't know if I would have time for it, but it was kind of a biggie. It has a lot of potential for the US dollar and maybe seeing a little bit of strength on it. So you have the Fed's paper losses top 200 billion mark. And this would have been for the fiscal year of last year. You know, you normally don't see the data coming out until much later. And so
Hey,
this
question.
two, yeah,
The first thing I thought of when I saw Fed's paper losses was, does the Fed get taxed on their unrealized gains?
no, because they are the people that put the money in the system.
Yeah.
So they their their gains are not taxed and their losses are not taxed.
They should
They
be.
are, yeah, yeah. The people that make the money should be taxed on the money, you know?
Exactly. Anything else? Why
It
not
would be
tax the
it
creating of the money? Why not do that?
well, yeah, I mean, they might make a little less money then, which would also be good for the system. You know, less
Yeah.
money in the system makes your dollar stronger, gives you more buying power. So, just
Hmm.
just uh a thing that they don't normally do. They normally raise the levels of liquidity because if you target 2% inflation and you're not getting 2% GDP growth, you know a way to make 2% inflation? Print more money.
That's about the only way to really create inflation is by printing money.
Yep. It's the way that they do it. You know,
Yep.
it's a hidden tax on things.
It's not very
So
hidden.
I mean, it's hidden to your average citizen who doesn't
Yeah.
think about that. We
Yeah.
are not your average citizen. We look at investment. Like to invest our own money, whereas in your average citizen, if they invest, hands their money to something like Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, um, Schwab. They'll be like, "Oh, well, I've got my bank. I put money in my savings account. I do what they tell me." Like that's your average citizen right there. They're not as in tune with the market. So they can't make the quick moves where it's like, "Okay, well, we see that this and this and this happened, so it is more likely we should put our dollars here." They just
Hmm.
let the banks do that for them. And the banks don't always have the best interest of the people in mind. They have the best interest of their interests in mind, specifically like their interest rates. So, how high can we loan out the dollars and
I
how
see what you
little
did
can we
there.
pay you? Yeah, yeah.
So what's
So,
going on in this article? Let's go.
U.S. Federal Reserve losses crossed the 200 billion point this week, according to data released on Thursday by the central bank. The Fed reported that As of Wednesday, the level of its so-called earnings remittance to the Treasury Department stood at negative 201.2 billion. The number represents a paper loss that central bank officials have noted does not impair their ability to conduct monetary policy. The negative number is captured in an accounting measure the Fed calls a deferred asset. The Fed must cover this shortfall before it can begin returning excess earnings to the Treasury. Fed losses flow from the high interest rate monetary policy path it had been pursuing to bring down inflation. The Fed pays banks and money funds to park cash at the central bank to keep short-term interest rates at the desired level. The Fed tilted two into loss 2 years ago and faced record red ink in 2023 as the money it has had to pay out to manage rates has outstripped the money it makes from the interest earned from bonds it holds. The Fed funds itself through services it provides to the banking system and via the interest on bonds it owns. It returns any profit to the Treasury Department as required by law. And for many years, the central bank has handed back substantial sums. St. Louis Fed research said that between 2011 and 2021, the Fed returned nearly 1 trillion to the Treasury. The loss making situation is tied to the aggressive cycle of rate rises done between March 2022 and July 2023 that saw central bank interest rate target fly up from near zero levels to 5.25 to 5.5%. The Fed said in March that it had paper loss last year totaled 114.3 billion. It paid out 176.8 billion to banks and 104.3 billion via its reverse repo facility, which is buying back bonds, while earning 163.8 billion via interest on bonds on its balance sheet. With the Fed's recent half percentage point rate cut and the prospect of more easing, it will likely see a slower pace of losing growing forward, as it will face a smaller level of interest expenses to maintain its rate target. Before the Fed can return cash to the Treasury, however, it will have to effectively pay back the deferred assets, which could take years. Thus far, the Fed has not faced any political heat for its financial situation, although it surprises some, including formal central bankers. So, just the people that make our money can run at a loss and it be all okay. It
Yeah.
has massive potential for the dollar, as you will see the banks are more likely to put their money in their economy instead of putting the money with the Fed. As the interest rates lower with the Fed, you will see them be able to get more competitive rates from your average citizen. And so that's kind of what you want to see. So we'll just have to keep our eye out on that.
Excellent.
Looks like I need to head on out for the morning. So
All right. Well, sir, I hope you have a wonderful day. It's Friday, so
most definitely.
just a few more hours till the weekend. You can get to
Yep.
chill and have a good week. What do you got? Any plans for the weekend?
Just a funeral. So
Oh,
yeah. Yep.
sorry to hear that. That's,
Yeah,
I don't know
it'll
if
it
is that plans.
I
Sorry.
I mean it is plans, but it's not amazing plans, but
No.
it will be keeping someone company that has been married for like 50 years and just lost their husband. So,
Ooh.
yeah, I will
Yeah.
it will be a a more close-knit Saturday. And
Yeah. Well,
oh.
prayers to them, and yeah. Other than that, I hope you have an amazing weekend, brother. So,
Yeah, you
and we
too.
will catch you in the chats.
Yep. I will see everyone in the chats. Everyone, have a great day.
Later, man.
Later.
All right, people. So what we're gonna get into next is some Bitcoin price action. Well, let's just go ahead and get into it. I can't fix this. I don't know why. I don't know if I need to just. I don't understand why it does this. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and hop on over to the Bitcoin price chart. All right, guys. Right now we are sitting. We are on the 4-hour chart. We are sitting at this loud order block. This pretty strong order block, or where a lot of volume has taken place in this order block. More sell volume than buy volume. To me, I think that means we are seeing possible just a consolidation range in here. Before we move lower. But before that happens, I do believe that we might see a move up, and then we move down to the next level. I did mark off that level he was talking about of liquidity sitting right there at 500 or 59,600 or so, and there was a spike right there on our volume profile right here. So I did put a level there. So I would watch that. To me, that's a level that looks like looks juicy for a sweeping for this move right here. So that's kind of what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Is I think we probably get a move to the upside initially today. Take out some highs, get into this fair value gap. Maybe make it up here to this volume node right here. Canceling, mitigating this soft order block, and then we shift to the downside. We do have our trend fusion moving to the upside, but our volume metrics in the red, and our true sevens in the red, and our money flow is in the red. But we did get some oversold signals here, but it's just been real choppy. So to me, this seems like we might see a quick turn up today and then immediately back down, something of that nature, just because if we come down to the 15-minute, come down to the 15-minute, we can see we're currently sitting at a loud order block. Let me bring this down. So this is one of those situations that I absolutely love, which is getting a nice consolidation range and then waiting for a break one way or the other, because typically when you do that on news, you're going to see a break, and then you're going to see either a monthly high taken out or a previous weekly high taken out. 66,464. I don't know that. I don't think we get that high. Yeah. So I could see us coming up to the previous week low right here. Today that's at about 62,539. 62,539. And then that could be our fake out to the upside before we rip it back down to the downside. So that's what we typically see once we see some overnight consolidation like this, and then we have news in the morning. We'll see a fake out one way or the other, and then a push back to the other direction. So just kind of expect some crazy price action today off of the ADP non-farm payroll. The ADP non-farm payroll week is always a super heavy volatile week, but it hasn't been too crazy this week since we've been down here accumulating or consolidating. So I think that means we're just consolidating for the next move down. I mean, this is pretty clear to me, like a market maker sell model here, where we have, your consolidation ranges on the way up, 3 consolidation ranges on the way up, and then you get 3 consolidation ranges on the way down for the market maker sell model. So, yep, I'm still let's go ahead and turn on the forecast so we can see. So this is what I forecasted. I forecasted this move and then a push back down. Obviously, it went a little bit lower, but remember, I've been saying, and I try every chance that I can, that when I pull this up, this isn't about price or time or price. This is about market structure. I'm just looking for market structure. This is probably going to be less of a 5-wave structure that I drew it up here, and more of an ABC type of deal. So where we do something like this, and then we get that move to the upside, and then we move further to the downside, and we have a down October. So probably because everyone expected October. Everybody was October, just like everybody was expecting a down September. What happened? We had an up September. So I kind of like to go against the herd when it comes to that. But looks like we have pierced above the previous day high, but it wasn't on news. So that's key. I want to wait for news, probably get up to that previous week low, get into this fair value gap where we have some minus 1.238 billion in volume. So definitely could see us get up in this range, and this is where I think I would take a short, is right here. In all honesty, I think this is where I'm going to be taking a short. Put my stop above the high. It's a little too high for me. 3% down, but then I, would go pretty much as low as we can go. We'll see. But more than a 3-to-1, so almost a 4-to-1 trade. So that's kind of what I'm looking at today. This is what I've been looking for my bearish swing trade, my short swing trade. Been looking for the move down and then the move up. It's just been sitting here consolidating for a few days, so I've been kind of just sitting on my hands waiting. So, but yeah, that's what I'm looking at on the Bitcoin. Do you guys have any requests? Someone says, "Oh, good morning, FD White." Good morning. Thank you guys for being here as always. So yeah, this is basically what I'm looking at for today for Bitcoin. What time is it? 6:23. All right. Ethereum, probably the same thing. Move up. Previous week low. It might not even make it up there, to be honest. It might just sweep the previous day high. But if it is to get a big move, I would see it come up, same as Bitcoin, to that consolidation range, meet that the bottom of the range, and that would be resistance. Put my stop just above the high right here, and then let it run down. We adjust our stop loss what I do is once we cross a swing high, that's when I move my stop loss. I'll take 50% off of the trade, and then I'll move my stop loss to break even, and then I'll let the rest ride. Sometimes even adding to the position and then just moving my stop loss up or down. Why would I add to my position? Well, if I have mostly exited a position or halfway exited a position, and we have crossed a significant swing level, then I can add to my position. It's like opening a new trade, but it's going to move your entry up or down a little bit closer to the price that you re-entered at. And then I'll put my stop loss just above that, so that I at least cover my fees. But the thing is, I've already taken profit, 50% profit or 75% profit by that time, and then I'm just re-entering the position to try to catch the continuation. And when you do catch the continuation, you end up making even more gains, because it's just adding to another trade, right? It's just another trade. The great thing about it is you don't lose, because you already won on the 50% taken, or 75% that you've already taken out, and therefore the next trade if you move that stop loss up above your new entry, is a risk-free trade, and you get to let it run and make even more money, or you get stopped out and you break even and you just keep the 75% that you already took out. So win-win is yeah, it's a win-win to me. Let's see, is there anything popping off this morning? Let's see, we got CVC looking like it's trying to make a move. The Civic, let's zoom out on this one. Always like to zoom out on the alts. So wow, this has had a pretty crazy accumulation bottom in here. Nice triple bottom a little bit in there. Put that across there. So, and this is basically at resistance right now, but it could see it get up to this value, not this value area. Well, I guess we can consider that a value area up there at about 18 cents. But nobody asked for CVC, so let's see. Should I close my long position now in all caps? I am not here to tell you what you should or should not do. But if you pay attention to what I just said and rewind a little bit, the answer is probably not yet. So, yeah. What time is it? It's 6:27. All right, guys. There's nothing really else. XRP slammed by the lawsuit. If you know, everything has to have a narrative, right? So would not be surprised. I think everything kind of moves up a little bit on that news, and I don't know when that up move that I'm talking about for Bitcoin today. Let's go back down to the 15. Zoom out. There we go. The up move that I am talking about today could last longer than expected. It could go through the whole weekend. I mean, all of Friday could just be a move to the upside. Okay, we do have this consolidation range sitting over here, so I would expect that to be more resistance than for us to come up and clear it. But we'll see. I think maybe we just poke our heads and then we continue to the downside. But I mean, either way, I think we're seeing more downside. If you close your long now, I don't know. I wouldn't close my long now because I'm kind of expecting higher prices. I mean, I do probably maybe we get a little pullback into this fair value gap, and then this order block sitting right here at 60,657. If we come back down and pull down into that, and then we before the market opens, that would be nice. But that would be a potential bounce area right there. Outside of that, we've already swept the Asia kill zone high and the London kill zone, or yesterday's Asia kill zone and London kill zones, and today's Asia kill zone's already been swept too. So that's definitely yeah, I mean, we could already be looking for some downside, but because this is your consolidation right here, but I would consider this whole range. I would just wait for, because we do have news data today. I would just wait for that to play out and then let the dust settle and see what happens, because I do think that we get a nice big move one way or the other that will likely be a fake out. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for joining. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I got to get ready for work, so yeah, it's Friday, so I hope you all have an amazing day and have a great weekend ahead. Go outside, touch some grass, get away from the screens for a little while, and yeah, have some fun. But yeah, I think I got approval for the late night show, so we'll be working on that in the background. So anyways, hope you all have an amazing, beautiful, wonderful, radical day, and I will see you in the chats Happy Friday. Happy birthday again to Piper Academy. And yeah, don't forget to check them out at 9:30 a.m. The morning market report with Piper, OC Guy, and Tradefly. There is no crypto nightcap on Fridays. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today. So hope you all have an awesome day, and we'll see you in the next one. Wake up! It's gonna be a great day.